Oh, hello. You caught me by surprise. Just taking a look at Thanos, the Infinity Revelation, the first of the Thanos trilogy of hardcover graphic novels from writer-artist Jim Starlin. Now, in the first segment that you've probably already watched, if you haven't, go watch it. I'll wait right here. Okay, you watched the first segment about the Infinity Stones, and I'm going to continue to expand on your knowledge of the Infinity Stones. Now, you already know that Thanos has gathered these 6 incredibly powerful ingots and put them on his gauntlet and made himself Lord and Master of everything. That was the 6-issue Infinity Gauntlet series. If you haven't read it, I strenuously recommend you pick that up. So, what are these Infinity Stones? Well, I already explained how each one of the stones grants you absolute dominion over one of 6 of the fundamental aspects of all reality. These gems, when gathered together, make an individual even more powerful than the upper tier of the Marvel cosmic hierarchy. The 6 Infinity Stones, as individuals, give whoever wields them a supreme mastery over that individual aspect, and to have all 6 of them together allows you to bend reality in every possible method that your imagination can conceive. Now, if you're someone like Nebula, your imagination isn't all that great, and you are very easily duped, and this is what happened when Nebula briefly possessed the Infinity Gauntlet. But if you're Thanos, your imagination is virtually boundless, and you can conceive of anything. As Thanos himself once put it, "While I wield this gauntlet, if I wanted cows to have wings, they would. More to the point, they don't have wings because I don't want them to." While Thanos had this gauntlet, even Mephisto, the Lord of Limbo, Mephisto, the guy that cosmically bedevils the Silver Surfer, put himself at odds with Thor. You see him around in a lot of places. Well, even Mephisto was reduced to a sycophantic lieutenant who just hung around Thanos and whispered in his ear and tried to stay on the good side of the man that controlled everything. Now, Thanos took this gauntlet and used it to elevate himself, he thought, to a level equal to his love, Mistress Death. What Thanos didn't realize was that the possession of the gauntlet was going to elevate him beyond death. He was going to have control beyond even death over literally life and death. Thanos snapped his fingers and wiped out 50% of everything living in the entire universe. And he was very, very careful to make sure that his father was among that 50%. A little bit vengeful from Thanos of Titan. Each one of the gems, as I explained earlier, time, reality, mind, soul, power, and space, each one of these things individually puts you at the top bracket in that area. You have the space gem. You want to get from point A to point B instantaneously. You think it, and it is so. And this is how the runner gave himself the illusion of superhuman speed, being able to traverse intergalactic distances instantaneously. The power of the soul gem gives you dominion in a very nebulous fashion over the intricacies of the mortal and immortal soul. Combined with the mind, the reality, the time, the power gem, all of these things, again, make any individual capable of rewriting all of reality to the method in which they see fit. Now, this kind of power can easily drive a lesser mind into insanity. So, possessing the mind gem doesn't necessarily put you automatically on the Professor Xavier scale. It gives you the power, but not the experience. Takes a little while to get accustomed to this. Fortunately for the wielder, each one of the gems helps to kind of balance themselves out. So you've got the gauntlet on your hand, you're thinking your way through the gems, you are exercising your force of will. You are now ready to take on all of the cosmic entities that the Marvel Universe has to offer to you. Now, the first question you're going to ask is, well, does this gauntlet have any limitations? It sounds like it is above and beyond the power cosmic, beyond the ultimate nullifier, beyond the cosmic cube. You're right, it is beyond all of these things, but it does have some attendant limitations. One, it's not picky about who's wearing it. It's not like a Green Lantern ring or a Sinestro Corps ring that chooses you specifically. You pick the gauntlet up, put it on, and wow, you have the power. It owes no allegiance to the person that wielded the power before it. the gauntlet also only works in its own home universe. Now, if you were to cross over into a parallel universe, like for example, the DC universe, and give the gauntlet to Darkseid, well, then Darkseid would have a really cool looking glove with 6 gems on it. But it wouldn't actually do anything. It doesn't work in the DC universe. And yes, that story was explored, JLA versus the Avengers. Beautifully illustrated by George Perez, expertly written by Kurt Busiek. You should check that 4-issue series out. So yes, this thing does have some limitations. But if you're not traveling outside the confines of the 616 Marvel Universe, if you're not attempting to prevent universal incursions and the ultimate destruction of the multiverse, then hey, wielding the 6 gems will give you absolute power over everything that you can imagine. At least until guys like Adam Warlock, Silver Surfer, Doctor Strange, and the others all confer, combine their abilities, and get that thing off of you. So, if you have that power, I recommend that you follow the Spider-Man philosophy, and with your great power, exercise great responsibility. Thank you all for joining me. I'm Troy David, and this is Flashback Comics, and you've been learning about the Infinity Stones.